Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. On a previous range trip, I was testing out some stuff on this Winchester SXP Defender, and the front sight bead fell off. A few sharp-eyed observers noticed that in the last video, and yeah, it was leading into this video. But this SXP Defender came from the factory with screw-in chokes, threaded for screw-in chokes, and it doesn't leave hardly any material or threads for your bead sight to thread into. It has 2, maybe 3 threads, which isn't going to cut it. So that got me thinking that you'll either need to put some thread locker on there, which again, due to how few threads there are, might not even work, or use some sort of adhesive of some sort before heading out into the field with your stock factory bead sight. Or for the purposes of this video, you could improvise, adapt, and overcome with some field expedient shotgun sights. These things could be stuff you have kind of kicking around in your range bag, maybe in a drawer in the shop or your garage. Just something to put on there real quick. Let's see how they work. First up is going to be your Snap-on, not like Snap-on brand, but a Snap-on fiber optic sight that just snaps on your barrel. Press that on there, adjust it where you need it, and typically, I mean, that feels like it's on there pretty good, but typically there's a little notch in them that is supposed to sit up into where your stock bead is to keep it from walking forward as you're firing. But I mean, that was on there pretty tight when I was trying to adjust it. So let's fire a mag dump through it, 7+1 of just some super target loads, and see if she wants to walk forward. I don't know if you saw, got away from me a little bit. Hand is a little sore, got some bruised pads from something else. That's a different story. Yeah, you can tell by the bead hole that it has walked just a touch. So, you know, something more than target loads, some slugs or buck, just something with a little more oomph, it would eventually make it to the end and you probably bust it off of there. All right, next up, basic zip tie. We'll zip tie this around the barrel. I'm gonna cut that off, position it where the bead would be, and there you go. Nice little bead sight for you. That was inexpensive, quick, and we'll see if it does the trick without moving. Another 8 rounds down the tube. That surprisingly doesn't look like it moved at all. So another thing that's usually kicking around in a range bag or in your shop or even on the ground right here at this kind of makeshift shooting range, foamies, little foam earplugs. So what I'm going to do is cut a little section off of one, remove the choke tube, push a little bit down in the hole, rethread the choke tube, and I mean, that should be in there pretty solid. The only issue you may have is if it melts from prolonged shooting. All right, foam earplug, that one was a fail. That does not work. There was not enough of a gap in there to have it compress in between the choke tube and the barrel. When I was trying to push the choke tube in, it actually just pulled it through the hole and like ripped it. Little change of lighting. If you noticed, I'm up here the next day. Something popped into my mind that I wanted to try, but I'll insert it here for the video. But what I want to try is melting just one side or edge of an Airsoft BB, a little plastic pellet, and then pressing it onto the little divot or hole where those threads are to see if that'll lock in there good enough to use it as a front sight. Well, it went on easily enough as long as the wind doesn't keep blowing your lighter out. It's on there a little crooked, and that can be corrected with another BB, but it's also pretty high vis, which can be nice in certain situations. Let's see how it handles recoil. Still on there. That actually really surprised me, so I'm gonna run 8 more through it. Man, I would call that a success, honestly. that really surprises me. I did not think it would stay on there that good. Eventually, it's probably gonna melt, right? Melt more, melt off. I have another Airsoft BB, different color. So I assume it's a little different plastic, a little different material. We'll give that one a shot, see how it goes. This first try didn't stick at all. It left a little indentation, but didn't stay. This, whatever this BB is made of, this type of plastic, took significantly more heat and melting for it to adhere to that spot. All right, I've just got 9 shells left, so we'll just run through all 9 with the white BB. With a little bit more time and a crude shop, maybe with some epoxy or an adhesive of some sort, you could attach a ball bearing to there, a pellet from a cut open shell, a BB of some sort, or even a pebble if you really wanted to, if you're in desperate need of a bead and you don't have access to anything else, that could work. So one thing to keep in mind with all these different items and materials that could be used as a field expedient bead sight is that it's going to affect your point of aim and point of impact a little bit. Within about 15 to 20 yards, the thing I'm aiming at, majority of my pattern has hit where I'm aiming, so it doesn't matter within this distance, but longer range, different loads, different chokes, that's obviously going to change some things. But that's about all I'm thinking of as far as field expedient bead sights go. Let me know down in the comments if you have ever had the need to improvise a front sight or even a rear sight, just any sight improvisation. I'd be curious to hear about it. Let me know what you used. If you haven't had the need, but you maybe have something in your drawer or range bag that might work, I'd also be interested to hear about that too. Just get some different perspective. And I guess lastly, for field expedient bead sights, the most expedient thing, if you lose it, is just to leave it off entirely and never worry about it again, which honestly works for a lot of shotgunning, to not even need or have a front bead sight. But that is a topic for a different video, which we will be discussing here in the near future. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that video. Be sure to like and share as well. I appreciate you hitting all those buttons. Really appreciate you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.